I knew it at that time. Things would no longer be the same. Those torturous memories would wander in my mind forever. Forever. I owe it to my uncle for my devotion to the ancient world, mainly to a strange and forgotten legend he told me when I was very young. The legend of the ancients. The legend goes that even before man appeared on Earth, there existed an imposing city, or maybe hundreds of cities, governed by a primeval ruling race that mysteriously vanished. It's said that the city became submerged in time and forgotten. A mere few of us hold on to the belief that there are still some vestiges left, buried deep underground. The expedition organized by my uncle Aniko over the last few years is finally to depart from Baralok, one of the last villages to the south of the continent, to the unexplored Patagonian woods. Meanwhile, I was in Buenos Aires, following up a clue about the almost forgotten legend, but soon I'd join the expedition. I woke up agitated. It was a cold autumn morning, and yet again, this time with even more intensity, I had one of those nightmarish visions. I was surrounded by the books and writings of Adriano Scapelli, a colleague of my uncle's, who'd supposedly found proof of the existence of the old legend. My inquiries to Scapelli's whereabouts led me to an old boarding house in the neighborhood of San Telmo, where he'd spent his final years. This is my last day. I can't stay here any longer, nor do I wish to. I need to gather the proofs that Mr. Scapelli mentions in his letters and leave as soon as possible in order to join the expedition. Dear Uncle, I've been able...
Mr. Farrell, during your absence your uncle called. I left a message on the table under the phone. As for the access to Scapelli's room, I'm sorry, but I remember we should wait until police investigations are complete. Well, I'm sorry, but I must continue my work. I have a lot of backlog.
You have a lovely collection of music boxes.
I see you've been watching the beautiful collection of music boxes. They belong to my late wife. My dear Natasha was always fascinated by those melodies. She began her collection since childhood and used to listen always before bedtime. Unfortunately, I'm old and clumsy. I couldn't keep them in good condition, and now none of them work. I regret this.
Excuse me, but I reckon I could fix the music box with a wooden cover. I've taken a look and it doesn't seem to be in too bad shape.
I need to confess that you left me thinking about Natasha. Do you really think you could fix that little music box? It would mean a lot to me. Listening again to those beautiful melodies I shared with my wife would be very beautiful memory, and I would be very thankful. In the workshop at the end of the courtyard you might find some tools that may be useful. Here you are, the key to open that beautiful music box.
Have you been thinking about it? Will you let me enter the room? Mr. Scapelli possessed valuable information. He was going to give me an item that he found on his expedition that could shed some light into our research.
I understand your intentions, Mr. Farrell, but the police order I received clearly says I shouldn't let anybody get into the